Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be going into kind of card uploader and a step-by-step walkthrough on how to use it, some of the finer details to it. Card uploader has a lot of videos themselves on it, but I figured I'd do one for how I use it and the kind of stuff I do. Before we get into that, if you guys could comment and subscribe, that'd be great. We appreciate it. And also like, and if any questions or any videos you'd like to see next, please let me know. But we're going to get right into it. So this is the dashboard of Card Uploader. After you pay, it's $10 a month, unlimited scans. You can kind of abuse it. Like I'm at 25,000 scans. Um, Compared to all the other platforms, this is by far the best deal and the cheapest. So if you just need scans to get going, this is the best platform for that. So I'm gonna go for eBay. I don't use this for TCG Player. I'm gonna help you set this up for like an eBay and how you kind of get it going. So you're gonna start off by going to configuration and then eBay. These are all your different policies, your payment, shipping, returns. All you're going to go to do is eBay policies. And here you can see all your different policies that you have and how many listings they apply to. So you'll need a shipping, a payment, and a return. And I just name them my default because these are what I use across the board. And then once you name them and make them, you come here and they'll give you a drop down on which ones to pick. And then that'll be easy. Down here, you also have your stored categories. So when you're making listings, it'll automatically put them in these categories. So for like my shop, move it out of the way, edit store. That would be all these right here, how they are nice and organized like that. How you do that, you just hit this, add store category, name it whatever you want. Then you're going to copy the number over here. And then put the name and the category ID right there. That's for the eBay side of setup things. That's all you necessarily need for that. You have some more simple stuff you can do, Shopify or whatnot, TCG Player. I don't mess with any of that. The nice thing I like about this is you have um, a lot of different ways to list cards as their titles and how you want to do things. So if you're doing Magic, there are some sets, like if you can, like Lord of the Rings and Universe Beyond, there's some sets that have very long names that make it to where the titles are over 80 characters, which is more than you like, and you can't even do that. So here you can go ahead and reorganize your title by however you want it. If you want set name, rarity, finish, card game, card number, condition, all that stuff. Here are some of the variables. You can play around with this and make it however you want. This is kind of just my baseline of what I use. And in general, you can have it where it puts a description in each of your listings. I don't know how important this is. I've done this once and I just leave it. Just to give it a little bit of life so people see there's care into it. By default, I think this says something about like made with card upload or something like that. Give them a shout out. So I just do something like that, and then I'll throw a promo code in there that I have to edit because that's not a right one anymore. You can do watermarks and kind of default images if you want. Manage inventory. This is kind of more advanced stuff you don't necessarily need to do. And that's that for that. And then now when you want to go make a listing, you want to go to ungraded cards or graded depending. So if you have a graded card, you can, whoever you're graded with, you put in the cert number and it will pop up whatever images that carrier has by default. So like when you look up the cert number, it'll just take them images for you and put it in the listing, which is pretty nice because they're normally pretty good pictures. So for this one, do ungraded cards, and then we're going to do Magic, for example. And then here's my store category, Magic. So there's advanced matching options. For Pokemon, I don't think this is the most needed. There's nothing crazy. But for Magic, there's a lot of sets that have promo, pre-release, stuff like that. So what I do is I just exclude that, and then if I know it's a promo card, I do those separately by their own batches. So I'll do that to make sure it doesn't try to identify the card as something it's not. It just kind of makes it quicker on my end. You can name whatever you want, save it. So this is my default thing. Then you're going to pick the condition of your card, your floor price. This is for your organization system. So like for this JP7, this is Japanese Pokemon. 7 is the batch number. And then this is the card number. So if I was making a new batch, I'd put this as 1. And then it would go up in increments. So the first card would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. And then this is where I was talking about, you can schedule when these listings go live. So if you don't have a lot of time during the week and you only have one day to do this, you can schedule your week's listings in one day. You can have them go live right away, or you can have them go live throughout the week if you only have one day. Say you only have time on Sunday night to do that for the week. You want to upload every single day, so you can have it to where one schedules Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And just do it that way to save yourself the time and effort. So next, what would you would do? You would go to your scans, upload all of your different scans. I'm not going to do that. We're going to go through a batch I've already done, because this takes a little bit, not too long. Then you can do, if you do image for the front and back, or custom. So if you have more images of the card, I've never personally used this. I always do front for Magic and everything else. 2 images front and back for Pokemon, because Pokemon condition matters more in my opinion. So if this was you, you'd upload them and then hit next, and it would start loading. We're going to go to a previous batch to kind of see how to do things. I have a lot of batches, so it's going to take a second to load. So we're going to pick this batch right here. So the first thing I always do when I load into a batch screen is I hit manage duplicates. You don't want duplicate listings on eBay. It happens with cards. It's unavoidable. This helps stop it at the beginning. Now you still will have them, but this helps a lot. And then there's also ways to combine all your duplicate listings. But this is just the first step. Then I click on the first card, not there, right here. Then basically all you're doing here is matching the image. You're matching the image, the set name, you're making sure the card is the right card. So you're going to go through here and make sure every card is the correct card that it should be. Sometimes it's a little slow and it will show the previous card, like one will change before the other, so just give it a second. And this batch should be all correct because I've already done this. But you're just going to go through, match up all the cards. Once you're done with that, it will give you the prices of the card in foil and normal. Now, the one thing that Card Uploader does, depending on how you look at it, that's good or bad. So like TCG Automate, when it scans a card, it will automatically try to figure out if it's normal, foil, reverse holo, whatever it may be. Card Uploader will scan the card as the card, and then you have subtypes. So you have to pick, I'll show you how to set these up. But this is how you can pick. So like if your cards are just, you have like for Magic, you have this batch is all normal cards. You don't got to mess with this. But now if it's foil, you would select all, bulk edit, variants, and then put whatever it is. And I'll show you how to get in and make these. But it's pretty simple. I have normal, foil, holo, and reverse holo for Magic and Pokemon. Don't need much more than that. You can also, while you're here, edit the SKUs, convert to playsets, edit conditioning, and all that good stuff. And then you can also, one thing, if your scanner has a lot of scan lines, now I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing this, just simply because you generally want the picture that of the card to be what they're actually buying. But say you have a lot of scan lines and your scanner's just not having it today, you can not hit that button. You can hit this button up here and it will change the image to the default image. So it's a better image, but I wouldn't necessarily do this unless your card is perfect, because these images are normally perfect and you don't want someone to buy a card that they think looks perfect, but in reality there's a scratch here, there's a little bit of whitening down here. You want to avoid that if you can. So it's an option, but be careful with it. people will return them cards for saying, hey, this looked, mint, but it's actually light plate. So be careful with that. So here's the different prices. You can either just click on the price you want, and I've already uploaded this card, so it'll tell me the previous price I've had it for. So when you pick your floor price, it will automatically set everything to that. So you go through, I have different pricing guidelines. Anything 50 cents and under is my floor price. 50 cents to $1 is its own price. $1 to $1.50. $1.51 to $2, it goes up a little bit, and then up to $5 I do that. After $5, depending on the game, I apply a flat increase to it, so a flat markup. This unfortunately doesn't have a way to do that automatically. TCG Automate does, and I'll get into that in another video. They have a lot more nice features, but they're more expensive. That's kind of the downside to them. And then all I do is I make sure that everything price-wise is good. Verify that all the cards are the price that they should be. And for this, they should be because I've already done it. Now, tokens for Magic or something that normally this is the best with, so you want to triple check those. Or stuff like this, I should have used this is nice, would use a default image like that if I didn't flip this card, so it's easier for the buyer to read this way. Right here, you can add a flat price or a percentage to every listing, which is nice. So if this is higher end stuff and you want to apply a flat 30% increase, you can. Now, TCG Automate has a way to do that before you're at this point, so it's all automatic, but this is nice if you want specific cards, you can select which cards it does it on, which is very handy. Then you do export CSV file, open eBay upload template, choose file, and then you can see I have a whole bunch here. You pick one, hit OK. And then it's going to sit down here, it's going to show processing. And then it will upload. You will sometimes get it where every now and again 1 or 2 will fail. I don't know why it does that, it just does it for me sometimes too. The vast majority of the time it does not. This was my very first attempt and I messed up. But generally speaking, it's pretty easy. So that is kind of the basic way of using Card Uploader. I would use this if you're beginning and you just need a lot of scans. For $10, it has everything you need it to have for features. It's not the best, I don't think, but for the price, I think it is. And he also has a video, Pokemon Steven, going through everything because it's his platform. And he does it very well. He has a very in-depth video about it. So I'd also watch that. This is a more quick, rapid-fire way of doing it. So it's a very easy-to-use platform, easy to learn. There's a lot of other ones. Now, if you're doing Magic and want to get into Mana Pool and stuff, this I don't think will ever have that. I think this is just how it's going to be. That's why they've made it so cheap. For $9.99 a month, you can't complain. So if you guys like the video, if you guys have any other questions or comments that I didn't address or you'd like to know, drop a comment down below. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And then tomorrow I'll probably do a video on TCG Automate, kind of comparing what that does compared to this. I want to do 2 different videos. So if you don't care for one, you can just come in and watch the one video relevant to you and not have to jump. You can jump back and forth if you want to, but it's just one nice video for each platform. So this is my personal recommendation if you're starting. That's what I would use. It's got a lot of customization, but it's not overwhelming. This also has a lot for TCG Player and the other and whatnot. Shopify, I don't use any of that stuff. TCG Player, if you're on TCG Player, these platforms are good for that. There's a couple that are in the works that are coming out. There's one in July coming out that should have very good ability to cross upload. The owner and creator of that website cross uploads on everything. He'll have his whole inventory listed on every platform he sells on. So I'm assuming that would have a very good way to sell on eBay and TCG Player. But when it comes out, we'll look into that. But until then, this is what I would stick with. It's got everything you need. But if you guys have any other questions, please let me know. But yeah, that's the video for today, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.